Hello, this is Mark from VentralFins.com, and today we're at my kitchen sink, as you can see. And the reason why we're at my kitchen sink is because I've had some requests through email asking me how I clean out one of these. And if you don't know what these are, these are worm keepers that come with your Blackworm order, and basically it's a neat little contraption that you use to keep your worms nice and fresh in the refrigerator. However, they don't come with instructions, and I don't think the website actually has instructions on how to use them. And so people will be asking me to do a video to show you how I rinse my worms. Now, first thing I want to say is I don't think there's a right or wrong way to rinse it. If you are rinsing it properly, you're keeping the water fresh and you're keeping your worms healthy, then I don't think you're doing it wrong. But I'm just going to show you how I rinse it. Now, there's some people, when I started out long ago, when I first got these, what I basically did was I basically lifted the top tray up, rinse the worm, just take the worms away, and then pour the dirty water out, and then refilled it with clean water, and then just basically put it back into the clean water. But I found that when I did that, I wasn't able to get all the dead and dying worms that still remained here in the tray. So what I did was I did kind of a little hybrid way. Like if you keep the worms in like a Tupperware, you probably do it this way. What I do is I take the worms out, take the top tray with the worms out, put it aside, and then pour all the nasty water away, and then probably give it a quick rinse to get all the slime away. Rinse that out. Okay, let me switch hands now. And then what I do is I take this, and the goal is basically to take these worms in a tray, pour them into the bottom tray. And I found one of the methods I use the worms are kind of spread out and they kind of stick to the thing, so you see they don't pour very easily. But what I do is I kind of shake it from side to side like this really fast, and I go like that, and you see the worms start to bunch up toward the middle of the tray. And when that happens, like that, and when that happens, they kind of, when you overturn it, it'll fall out better, much easier. So I swish it from side to side, and they go boop. And hopefully I got most of the worms out. You won't be able to get all the worms out, you get most of the worms out. And what I do, I have two hands, but I'm holding the camera. So what I do is get some dechlorinated water, which I had, sitting overnight, aerating overnight, and just basically rinse the worms off the tray, rinse the worms out of the tray, out of the top tray, and into the bottom tray. You can see I got most of it out. I'm going to just do a little bit on this side too, to rinse this water, and rinse that out. And there we go. And I got most of the worms out. You'll notice some of the worms will get in between this blue thing and in between the mesh and the blue thing. They get trapped, and it's okay if you don't get that out. That's fine. If you want, if this is really nasty, you can go ahead and rinse that out also. Rinse out all the slime, and then set that aside. Now we turn our attention to this thing. Now, don't ever let the tap water get in here, because the chlorine will start killing stuff. You only want dechlorinated water in here. So I take dechlorinated water from the bucket, and I'm going to pour it in here. And if you look carefully, you'll notice a lot of bubbles on the surface, a lot of worms on the surface. That's all the protein and all the scum that's coming to the surface, all the dead worms coming to the surface. So basically, I just poke it down, try to poke all the live worms down as much as I can, leaving all the foam on top. Now, if you're saying to yourself, ew, he's got his hands in worms, and ew, then, with all due respect, you shouldn't be doing this, and, basically, grow a pair or something. Rinse my hands over here so I can switch hands with the camera, get my left hand. And so now, once you push all the worms down, what you want to do is skim away all this scum that's on top here, all the bubbles and everything. Just skim that away. Just very carefully decant them away. Try not to pour out too many worms, and You know, I'll lose some, but that's okay. And what I want to do is basically get more water. You know, throw it down there, make sure all the worms get nice and mixed up. You can use your hands if you want to mix up. And if you look at it closely, you'll notice when that happens, when I pour the water in, all the live worms, the healthy worms, will sink to the bottom real quick. And then you'll have all the dead, dying worms kind of remaining in the water column. And then quickly, you know, while they're still in the water column, quickly just pour them away, leaving all the nice, healthy, heavy worms at the bottom. So you want to rinse them a couple of times, you know, maybe 2 or 3 times. And when you're done, after you're done with the last time you're satisfied, back in the tray, make sure you get all the worms, and then there, fill it back up with water. And make sure you leave, I'd say about ½ an inch. In fact, that's good already. About ½ an inch. Make sure all the worms are covered. None of them are actually poking through the surface. And they should be good to go back into the refrigerator. So that's how I rinse my worms. Remember, you gotta, if you want to keep your worms in tip-top shape, you gotta rinse them every day without fail. You'll know if you miss a day or two, you come back and you pull it out of the refrigerator, you know from the smell that you've definitely done something wrong, missed a day. So you keep them in good tip-top shape. Make sure you rinse them out every day and store them in your refrigerator. Make sure it doesn't freeze. My old refrigerator was really bad, and all the water, whatever water I put in there, would freeze over, kill all the worms. Make sure it doesn't freeze, and then do your water changes every day, and then they'll be in tip-top shape. So I guess that's the end of my video. Thanks for watching, and well, happy fishing. See you later.